Some people are born into comfort, others into chaos. Chris Gardner? He was born into the fire and learned to rise from it. He grew up in poverty, surrounded by abuse, violence, and fear. But deep inside, there was a spark, a dream that one day, he would live a life worth remembering. Chris's childhood wasn't just hard. It was heartbreaking. His stepfather was abusive, his mother was imprisoned, and he grew up believing the world didn't care. But instead of letting pain define him, Chris made a powerful decision. I will never live like this again. As a young man, Chris joined the Navy, searching for purpose. After his service, he became a medical salesman, but that wasn't his true calling. He wanted more. He wanted freedom. But success was elusive. Bills piled up, relationships broke down, and one day, he found himself homeless, with his little son in his arms. They slept in shelters, bus stations, and even public restrooms. Yet, Chris never gave up. He knew you can't let your circumstances define you. Then came the turning point. One day he saw a man stepping out of a gleaming red Ferrari. Chris walked up and asked, "What do you do for a living?" The man replied, "I'm a stockbroker." In that moment, Chris felt his destiny speak to him. He decided to become one, even though he had no degree, no money, and no connections. But he had something no one could buy: unbreakable grit. He landed an unpaid internship at the brokerage firm Dean Witter. He worked harder than anyone, studying after midnight in shelter bathrooms, all while juggling fatherhood. Life didn't suddenly become beautiful. There were nights of hunger, days of rejection, and endless tears. But when you have a why, you can survive any how. His son was his reason. His only goal was to give that boy the life he never had. After months of relentless struggle, everything came down to one final test, one last interview, one final chance. Chris walked in, not in a crisp suit but in paint-stained clothes from a side job. Yet he spoke with a passion, intelligence, and fire that couldn't be ignored. They saw his potential, they saw him. He got the job. The impossible dream became real. He went from sleeping in public bathrooms to eventually owning his own multi-million-dollar brokerage firm, Gardner Rich & Co. Chris Gardner didn't just chase success, he built a legacy of significance. From homeless to millionaire, from pain to purpose, from nothing to a legend. He proved that your past does not define your future, your decisions do. So if life ever pushes you down, remember this: you can lose everything, but never lose your hope. Because as Chris Gardner said, the future is created by the steps you take today. If this story inspired you, please hit that like button, subscribe to Dream Chasers Hub, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for watching.